Hello viewers, welcome to Big Man Business YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the top import and export commodities of Turkey. Turkey exports $177 billion worth of goods each year and is currently ranked the 29th largest export economy in the world. The country has a negative trade balance of $-25 billion after deducting annual imports of $202 billion from its export total. Between 2013 and 2018, Turkey managed to increase its exports by $14.5 billion. The economy of Turkey is defined as an emerging market economy according to the IMF, with a GDP of $761 billion and a GDP per capita of $9,225 according to World Bank figures. If you're new to the Big Man Business YouTube channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell to receive updates on new business expert videos. For more international business news and updates, please visit www.bigmanbusiness.com. Turkey's top exports. Here is a breakdown of the most important products exported by Turkey, both commodities and other notable exports. Commodity exports: crude petroleum. $3.65 billion went to refined petroleum, $3.42 billion went for raw iron bars, $3.33 billion went for gold, and $3.21 billion went for hot-rolled iron. Other notable exports includes cars, which raked in $12.9 billion, delivery trucks generated $5.38 billion, vehicle parts brought in $4.63 billion, jewelry raked in $4.29 billion, and non-knit women's suits generated $2.94 billion. The top 5 export destinations from Turkey are Germany with $16.6 billion, the United Kingdom with $11.9 billion, Italy with $10.1 billion, the United States with $8.57 billion, and Iraq with $8.35 billion. Turkey's top imports. Here is a breakdown of the most important products imported by Turkey, both commodities and other notable imports. Commodity imports: refined petroleum gulped $12.4 billion, gold gulped $11.3 billion, scrap iron with $6.47 billion, petroleum gas with $3.72 billion, coal briquettes with $3.53 billion. Other notable imports like vehicle parts gulped $6.45 billion, cars gulped $6.11 billion, broadcasting equipment gulped $2.78 billion, propylene polymers gulped $2.78 billion, packaged medicaments gulped $2.53 billion. Details on Turkey's exports and imports. Gold. Turkey is the world's 17th largest exporter of gold, with a 1.05% share of an annual market worth $305 billion. More than half of Turkey's gold goes to 2 countries only, namely the United Arab Emirates taking 27%, and the United Kingdom collecting 24.5%. Raw iron bars. Turkey is the biggest exporter of raw iron bars in the world. It controls 18.3% of the annual export market worth $18.2 billion. The country's closest rival, with a 7.32% market share, is Italy. Key export destinations for Turkey's raw iron bar exports are Yemen with 12.7%, Israel with 10%, Singapore with 5.85%, the United States with 5.76%, and Hong Kong with 5.47%. Wheat flours. Turkey leads the way in wheat flours exports, enjoying a 20.8% share of an annual export market worth $4.85 billion. Kazakhstan is Turkey's closest export rival with a 9.25% share. However, Turkey maintains its competitive edge as a key player of grain in this region with 2 modern flour mills operating close to important seaports. Citrus fruits. Spain is the leading exporter of citrus fruits with a 27% market share, while Turkey is the 4th largest exporting country with a 6.17% share of the annual export market worth $15.2 billion. Russia receives 32.7% of Turkey's citrus fruits, with Iraq receiving 14.6% and Ukraine with 9.61% trailing in second and third place. Interesting facts about Turkey. Despite most of the Turkish population being Muslim, is that it has been recognized as a secular nation rather than a Muslim country since 1927. The city of Istanbul spans 2 continents, with 97% in Asia and 3% of the city officially part of Europe. Istanbul is also not the capital of Turkey, it is Ankara. Turkey imported $219.4 billion worth of goods from around the globe in 2020, up by 10.5% since 2016 and up by 9.3% from 2019 to 2020. Based on the average exchange rate for 2020, the Turkish lira depreciated by -132.6% against the US dollar since 2016 and declined by -23.8% from 2019 to 2020. Turkey's weaker local currency makes Turkish imports paid for in stronger US dollars relatively more expensive when converted starting from the Turkish lira. Applying a continental lens, about half of Turkey's total imports by value in 2020 were purchased from fellow European countries. Asian trade partners supplied almost a third of import sales to Turkey, while another 6.1% worth of goods originated from North America. Smaller percentage shares of 3.3% came from Africa, Latin America excluding Mexico but including the Caribbean got 2.8%, then Oceania got 0.2% led by Australia. Given Turkey's population of $84.2 million in 2020, the average value of Turkish imports per person was $2,600. The following product groups represent the highest dollar value in Turkey's import purchases during 2020. Also shown is the percentage share each product category represents in terms of overall imports into Turkey. Mineral fuels including oil, $28.9 billion with 13.2% of total imports. Gems, precious metals, $26.6 billion which account for 12.1%. Machinery including computers, $25.2 billion which is 11.5%. Electrical machinery, equipment, $17.1 billion representing 7.8%. Vehicles, $15.3 billion which stands at 7%. Iron, steel, $15.1 billion which is 6.9%. Plastics, plastic articles, $11.7 billion which account for 5.3%. Organic chemicals, $5.9 billion accounting for 2.7%. Pharmaceuticals, $5 billion accounting for 2.3%. Optical, technical, medical apparatus, $4.7 billion which account for 2.2%. Turkey's top 10 imports accounted for well over two-thirds or 70.9% of the overall value of its product purchases from other countries. Leading the cost increases of imported products from 2019 to 2020 were gems and precious metals up by 99.7% led by gold. In second place were vehicles up by 58.5% and machinery including computers up by 17.3%. The sole year-over-year decline was for Turkish imports of mineral fuels which was down by -29.8% weighed down by Turkey's lower purchases of refined oil and coal. Top Turkish trade balances. Gold, iron or steel scrap, mobile phones and coal were major factors behind Turkey's highest trade deficits by product. Germany, Switzerland, Russia, and China represent the trade partners with which Turkey incurred the highest negative trade balances. Turkey's total trade balance for all products equaled a $-49.9 billion deficit in 2020, down by -50% from the $-99.9 billion in red ink during 2013. Year-over-year, Turkey's $-49.9 billion trade deficit for 2020 represents a -68.9% increase from its $-29.6 billion deficit 1 year earlier during 2019. To put Turkey's most recent $-49.9 billion trade deficit metric into perspective, the country's total external debt encompassing both public and private red ink equaled $-435.1 billion in September 2020. Consequently, Turkey's external debt is the equivalent of roughly 9 times its negative international trade balance. Top Turkish trade balances by product and country. The following 10 major products generated a surplus subtotal of $22.2 billion for Turkey in its global trade during 2020. Metrics listed in this video highlight Turkey's strongest competitive advantages over worldwide trading partners. Trucks, $3.3 billion up by 19.9% since 2013. Jewelry, $2.8 billion up by 4.9%. Iron or non-alloy steel bars, rods, $2.5 billion down by -46.8%. Women's clothing not knit or crochet, $2.3 billion up by 26.7%. Woven carpets or textile floor coverings, $2.22 billion up by 20.1%. T-shirts, vests, $2.16 billion down by minus 30.6%. Jerseys, pullovers, $86 billion up by 42.1%. Cars, $1.7 billion reversing a minus $2.3 billion deficit in 2013. Miscellaneous furniture, $1.62 billion up by 70.7%. Refrigerators, freezers, $1.616 billion up by 12.9%. Exported Turkish goods that generated the greatest percentage improvements in surpluses since 2013 were trucks up by 70.7%, jewelry up by 42.1%, iron or non-alloy steel bars and rods up by 26.7%, unknit and non-crocheted women's clothing up by 20.1%, woven textile floor coverings including carpets with 19.9%, then knitted or crocheted t-shirts and vests up by 12.9%. Turkey's top trading partners. The Republic of Turkey is strategically located at an intersection between Western Asia and Southeastern Europe. The transcontinental nation shares its borders with 8 countries: Armenia, Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Greece, Georgia, Iran, Iraq, and Syria. Turkey shipped $169.5 billion worth of goods around the globe in 2020. That dollar amount reflects an 18.8% increase since 2016 but a minus 0.9% drop from 2019 to 2020. That figure also represents roughly 0.9% of overall global exports, estimated at $18.709 trillion 1 year earlier during 2019. Applying a continental lens, 55.7% of Turkey's exports by value were delivered to European countries while 26% were sold to Asian importers. Turkey shipped another 9% worth of goods to Africa. Smaller percentages of 6.9% went to North America, Latin America excluding Mexico but including the Caribbean, 1.7%, then Oceania led by Australia, Marshall Islands, and New Zealand got 0.7%. Thanks for watching this video. We are open to suggestions. Kindly drop your comments in the comment box and don't forget to subscribe to the Big Man Business YouTube channel. See you in the next video.